Hey guys, welcome back to the Fire and Rice podcast. I'm Jenna, that's Jack. Let's get into it. Bachelorette.
What's up? This is a crazy episode.
Yes.
This is a crazy episode.
Crazy.
I that's all I have to say. I mean, if you guys watched it, it was very dramatic. I mean, we'll get into it for sure. Definitely some interesting developments in terms of character.
Yes.
So we'll see. But
we're missing Chicken Nugget Man this week.
True. Yeah, so last week Cam was
sent
booted.
Home.
Got the boot.
Walked the plank.
And the guys are actually a little happy about it. I mean, you watched some interviews with Cam after.
Yeah.
What was Cam's reaction? What was Cam actually like? Did he seem any different?
He seemed like a normal guy, I think. But he also said that he doesn't think that his edit was, too far off in any way.
Oh, okay. So they
like he can see how his actions were very much misread.
Sure.
But I can also see from another standpoint, giving him benefit of the doubt, his reasoning behind his crazy antics. Like, I think his intentions were good. It's just execution was very poor.
Sure.
But yeah, Chicken Nugget Man is gone. Cam, bye. Everyone was happy about it for the most part. And then they realized, oh, shoot, Luke P's still here.
Right. Yeah, crazy number 2, basically.
Yeah, crazy number 2.
Well, the craziness does unfold a little bit later, but the first section of the episode, the first part of the episode is the one-on-one with Jed.
Mm-hmm.
So Hannah takes Jed to Boston, and seems like they have a good time. It's a beautiful city. I've never been, but just the way they shoot it, it does look like a really nice city. Very historic.
I thought it was interesting that they all were sent to Rhode Island.
Right.
And then they said, all right, the one-on-one's in Boston. And then I was like, wait.
Right. Yeah.
Is that Rhode Island?
Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Rhode Island's a pretty small state in terms of area.
The little New England state.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, them getting to go to Boston, I mean, I think that makes a little bit of sense.
It does. I was just confused.
Oh, yeah. I mean, me too. For sure. But, yeah, so pretty much they have a nice day out, and Hannah starts making up some facts about America, which is a pretty funny what do you call it, it's a really nice thing to see, kind of her quirkiness on this date with Jed, because she says it herself, like she feels so comfortable that she can just be herself around Jed, so it really just feels more authentic, more genuine, and like something in an everyday scenario rather than on the TV competition scenario. Like this, they're not trying to
doesn't feel like
each other.
I was gonna say it doesn't feel like anything's really forced or they have to put on a show or anything.
Right.
I think Jed does look a little nervous.
I think that's kind
he's
of
still
his
coming
nature,
out
though.
of his shell too.
I think there's that, plus what he mentions a little bit later in the episode. He kind of opens up a little bit, and we'll get into that too. But I'm sure there was like the nerves of being on TV, nerves of being with, being in a relationship, a new relationship, nerves of.
It is a little weird being in front of a camera and having to go on a date.
Right. Well, here's some of the clips from the facts, rather, that Hannah was making up. They're pretty funny.
It was founded in 1692. I love making up facts about America. I found that to be a new talent of mine 10 minutes ago. Paul Revere invented the bike, and this is the monument. This is actually where Benjamin Franklin did his first interview. This is where Mr. Ronald McDonald got his idea for the Golden Arches.
Nice.
Right. I love that. It's just
right. He's just going along with it.
Letting her have some fun, which is nice. Again, like I said, it's just a very casual, relaxed day in the city type of date, and like a lot of, it really does what do you call it? Not reflect, but mirror what you most people really would have in like a day like this, where they're just exploring, having fun, and joking around rather than like being super serious. Especially like it's such a historic, beautiful city. Like you want to kind of just take it all in and have fun rather than being like super. Let's talk about my life and all of the sad things that has happened to me, which is like most of the show. It feels like the formula almost in
Yeah.
terms of dates.
Yeah.
But they have a nice photo booth opportunity where they kind of just it's another cute date thing to do. And then they end up getting to hang out with the Boston Celtics, the NBA Boston Celtics. Shoot some hoops, play some horse. And Hannah just kind of gets a chance to step away from the date from the outside perspective. It's kind of weird, in my opinion. It's like a cool thing that you bring in the NBA players, especially at the time of filming.
You can't just have a generic date on The Bachelorette.
No, yeah, you're right. It has to kind of be over the top.
We gotta have that pizzazz. Whether it be the sailboating that never happened or like the skydiving. Like it's got to be a wow factor.
Sure.
You can't just walk around the city.
Well, what I mean, well, I guess
yes, it's random. But
that's what I mean. It's random. It's random. Like
it's random, but TV
pizzazz, right? I guess. But yeah, so she gets a chance to kind of ask the players like what they see, what they're looking for in a relationship, things like that. Just like the standard questions that I feel like they just ask on the show, just to ask it, just to kind of show a soft side to people, especially like these buff, athletic NBA professionals.
Right.
They kind of share their soft side and things like that. So it's weird. It's interesting. Random is probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah. It also probably this just came up to my mind. It might help to get people to want to go to castings and stuff like, oh my god, I love basketball. I'm a huge basketball fan and they're bringing in basketball players and whatever. I want to go on this show just to to find love and have these cool experiences.
That's an interesting point. Yeah, that could be it. I don't know. That's an interesting point. I never really thought about that. It is, yeah. It could be cool.
It could help to, reel in some.
And be like, wow, they get to meet NBA players. They get to
go to Rhode Island. I want to do that.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's go to casting.
Oh, there was another scene where it's just like, what was it? They were eating ice cream. They're eating the sponsored Halo top on like a.
I want to go up to a Halo Top man and get some ice cream. See?
Yeah. All these great opportunities, fantastic opportunities just to be on the show.
Yeah, to promote
Also to find love, though.
Yeah. Also to find love. Besides all of this and that, to find love. The main point. Also, did you notice Jack's new haircut?
Oh, we're talking about the elephant in the room, huh?
Yes. Comment down below if you like it. Comment down below if you don't like it.
That's true. I'll read it and I'll be okay with it. Whatever you guys say, that's totally fine with me. I just enjoy seeing the comments in general. Yeah, interesting. Had to bring up the hair. Let's see. And then after that, they have a nighttime date. I guess you could call it whatever that is, dinner date.
Their dinner thing.
Yeah, the dinner thing, whatever. And this was actually a very interesting dinner conversation. One that I did not expect to kind of come up, but I'm glad it did. I think I have the clip of it. Let's go ahead and I guess pull this up so you guys can listen. We'll talk about it after.
Music is my passion. I want it more than anything in this world. It is what has come natural to me since I was this big, and I would go and sit next to my grandma and just be in awe watching her play and just watching her hands go down those keys. And I was like, even at a young age, I was like, I want to do that. Something that I truly and wholeheartedly love with every bit of myself. And it's been really hard and scary at times, and it's made me question if it's the right thing. For me, this is hard to talk about, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But when I signed up for the show, I was so clueless. I was open to the idea because I love love. I do. I love the idea of it. But my first thought was, this is like a huge platform. And I just want you to know the truth.
So we'll
Okay.
stop it there. We'll let that sink in for a
yeah.
second, maybe
Yeah.
before we kind of, at least if we do watch more. But
Yeah.
so basically, Jed talks about his true passion, his true, I guess you could say love for
Yes.
music, and
Yes.
obviously that was kind of his career tag.
Yeah.
Jed,
Musician.
right? And so it was the first time I watched this. It took me a second because I was like, he's really nervous. He's kind of stuttering. He's not really forming the sentences like coherently.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't get it. And then finally it clicked in my head. And I'm like, oh, so basically Jed is saying when he first signed up to be on the show, he wasn't really like on board with this like love show idea necessarily, but more so that he would be in front of a huge audience and it would be a great platform for his music.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I
What do you
think-
think?
Well, I think he was up. Whoever came up to him and said, "Hey, come, we're casting, audition for the show, whatever." He said, "Okay, like, I don't really have faith. Like, what are the chances of me finding love? But if all else fails, like, I'll still be on it and not necessarily promote my music on it,
But just have the
but just
exposure.
have the exposure,
that's what
and
I
then
meant as
after,
well.
okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying like, oh, I'm gonna promote my music. I'm playing this
No,
song.
yeah.
This is my song. But just like,
But
like,
just
oh, he's a musician. Maybe I can look him up. Like people, like
Exactly,
we do
yeah,
that. Like when
yeah.
we watch, we're like, who is so and so?
who is Jed?
Right.
Jed's a musician. Jed has music. Oh,
Exactly.
Fan of
So
Jed.
there's that at least small percentage
Exposure.
of exposure.
Well,
that
because
you can,
after these shows, whether you're on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, they become social influencers.
right.
Like no matter what.
Right.
Especially if you make it this far, like you're going
Well,
to be
further.
an influencer
Right.
of some sort.
Right.
So it's not saying it's guaranteed, but
It
kind of-
gives you something
Yeah.
to do after the show and to like try to keep your relevancy almost
if
in
you're
a
trying to
sense.
build a brand, go on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, basically.
Oh, bold statement. Bold statement.
It's true though.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's hard, especially when they make the arguments on the show sometimes when they're like, so and so's only here to, get fame and whatever. And it's like, okay, but you all did, like, all of you did go on the show. Obviously, love is a huge part of it, but it's a TV show. You knew that going in. You didn't think, like, oh, I'm not going to go on the show for fame and whatever. I'm going solely for love. Like, no, it's a TV show.
right.
So
Right. I mean, I think it's hard to it's hard to like kind of generalize, but I think, can agree with that. There's also that kind of what you were saying reminded me of the conversation from last season between Hannah, I think, and Kaylin about, or like I don't remember if it was just those two, but just the conversation around
I think it was-
Kaylin
Yeah.
basically saying like, oh, you're only on this show because you want to be the next Bachelorette.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, well, it's like, no, to an extent, yeah, people are there. They have, I'm sure, things that are their side hustle or their hobby that is some sort of brand to grow.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, too, I would hope that they're also just there to meet somebody that is going to be their partner in life. You know what I mean?
But if all else fails, they know that one, Bachelor in Paradise is an option, or becoming the next Bachelor or Bachelorette is an option.
Right.
So they know that if they're in the brand and they make it far enough, they'll keep being reused and recycled throughout, and then that will give them exposure.
Right. Yeah. No, it's an interesting thing, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. And it's really, really something that I didn't expect Jed to talk about, really,
Yes.
especially on this date. It's something that I understand now after the fact, but maybe would have, if I did expect it, I think it would have come later on. And I am actually glad that he kind of nipped it in the butt early
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this, because
Now
it,
people
there's
can't
no
question
exactly.
his,
Yeah, there's
'cause
no
he already
question
brought
about
it up
it.
to Hannah.
Right. And
That
I
could
think
be a strategic thing,
it could be.
but I don't think so.
I don't think so either, and I think you can tell that. The other thing too is better. It's better to have nipped it early and brought this up early because, yeah, you don't want to get so far and develop all these feelings just to hear like, oh, I was here for music initially, and it's like, oh, now does everything. So at least it's early
Yeah.
on enough where she has feelings, he has feelings, but like it's not it doesn't seem at least super strong to the point of like deal breaking
Yeah.
news.
Yeah, because if he had done it even earlier and there were no feelings
Oh,
at
then
all,
she would just be like, all right,
okay,
see
well,
ya."
whatever.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Right. But she kind of
Good timing.
It's a really good timing. It definitely she what do you call it? She responds in a manner of like, oh, like, thanks for sharing. I'm sure it was really hard to talk about and bring up, and
He ultimately says, though, in the end, I realized that even though music is my everything, now that I've met you, you are my new everything. And I really want to take all of my focus and attention and really manifest this relationship and,
right. And again,
build it.
Yeah, back to the timing thing, like, with their date going so well and kind of the way that it did today and all the interactions that they've had in the past, she can believe something like that.
Yeah.
When you say things like that, it's really, really important that all of your actions have lined up to what you're saying. And
yeah,
it definitely has shown that throughout the past few weeks, Jed has definitely put his attention towards Hannah, has started to really kind of like pique an interest, and she's noticed that too and kind of reciprocated that. So yeah, again, there's so many times where on the show people are just like, oh, I'm here for you, and it's like, are you though? Because what you just did was
like,
a little bit
are
sus.
you though? Because the connection really isn't there.
right, that too. But anyways, Jed gets the rose, the night ends.
Woo.
Good for Jed. So after the one-on-one comes the group date, and here is where the episode really starts.
Oh,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
So the group date, a bunch of people go, pretty much everybody but one. I don't really want to. Well, we're already so. I keep saying like I don't want to spoil things, but it's like we're a whole 6 days after the episode, and like.
I also just don't remember the episodes. So.
Well, good thing that you're a part of this podcast where we recap the Bachelorette so that you can remember before the next episode.
Yep.
Anyways, so group date. Pretty much everybody but Jed and Tyler C, right? So
I remember now.
Yeah. Date card says blood, sweat, tears, something like that. Hannah's obsessed with violence. She had that roller derby violent group date. Now she has this.
And then also with Garrett, she was like causing him pain with the waxing.
Oh, yeah, that too. Oh, yeah, that's really interesting. Oh.
She likes pain.
She likes to see others in pain.
Yes.
What is that? Masochist? Sadistic? I don't remember. I'm very terrible with vocabulary. Anyways, so the group date. They all show up. It's a rugby match. This is an interesting group date in my opinion. So technically, rugby is a very it's an older sport, definitely on that East Coast vibes, like in history. Can you
explain rugby? Isn't it basically football without rules?
You could think of it like that, basically.
Okay.
So it's like the ball itself is a lot bigger.
Oh.
And you're not allowed to like throw it. You have to like
you have to
pass it. You have to like lateral backwards.
I see.
The other thing too is if you're tackled with the ball, it doesn't stop the play. Like in football, if you're downed, then the play's over and you reset. It's like if you're tackled, now you fight on the ground for the ball basically. And like there's a thing where like I don't know. Basically, it's football with less rules.
With less rules, yeah.
And no pads. And like literally like
and kilts. Wait, no.
No, that's no.
That's not this episode.
No.
That's next episode.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
But anyways, they play rugby, which is weird because it's a very physical sport, very dangerous sport, especially if you go full out.
Yeah.
Like if it was flag football, that'd be a different thing.
Yeah.
That's like pretty, I would see that as being like a date thing. But like you're playing full contact rugby and that's really dangerous. Like
Yeah.
I want to know what the waivers are like for this show. Because
Sure,
I mean,
it's like any other standard waiver.
I
Like
mean,
if you get hurt, you just can't sue the show. It's
yeah, but
not
then
on
like,
us.
well, but then the thing is like, what if I'm legit trying not to get hurt? What if my career depends on like my arm not getting broken, or my leg not get like? What if my if
Too
you're
bad you signed up for this show. You're fighting for Hannah's love. For you to wimp out and say, "Oh well, I need my arm, I need my face to be a model."
well, I'm not
after
saying
this.
like be a model, but I'm just saying like, what if your craft and your trade relied on you not being hurt or something like that? I don't know.
Too bad. Well, that's what Cam was saying. Was he needed to tell Hannah about his illness, his disease, because it affected his athletic ability and his physical capabilities. And he said that if he were to be on a group date and they had to do something really physical, he would have to sit out.
Oh, did he go on any? Interesting. I don't think he did the roller
don't-
derby.
I don't think so.
I think that was the
No, he didn't because he crashed that one. So yeah, no, he had no
crashed that.
he had no opportunity yet to do a physical activity or group date. But he said that
Was this in an interview?
yeah, he said
Oh,
that
okay.
if there was a time for him to be on one of those dates, he would have to sit out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Cool. Good.
So
to know.
I feel like you can sit out for those reasons, but if it's for like a job or something, or who knows, maybe behind the scenes you could just tell them, "Hey, can I sit out on this date because blah blah blah," and they'll be like, "Sure," and then they just throw in someone else.
True. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways.
Anything could happen.
Yeah. I'm just curious
don't know
because it's
how it
like
works.
I don't know. Some of these dudes are. I guess you would go out there, but like kind of prance around and
Prancer.
not really.
Yeah, see,
Like I'd probably
that's
just
what I
at
would
least
do.
go
I would
out
just be
there
like,
like.
"Ah."
I'm
I would, like,
trying.
pretend- yeah,
I'm trying. Oh,
just like
pass
how
me the
I did in
ball.
school.
Okay,
That's what I did in PE.
that's true.
Hey, but it's better to pretend like you're trying than to just not try at all. Because at least if you pretend that you're trying, people think that you're helping.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
good point.
that was my difference from 5th grade to 6th grade.
You went from not trying to or-
Trying in sports, in
Okay.
PE.
Okay, very
Yeah.
cool.
People took a notice to it, you
They're
know?
like, oh wow, she kind of kicked the ball over there, and it kind
Jenna
of.
can sport now.
Oh my god. The only reason I was bringing this whole thing up in general is because
Right.
somebody did actually get hurt.
Right.
Like full on dislocated his shoulder, hurt.
I won the bet.
Oh,
I won the bet.
that's right. I forgot.
That's right. And we had it last episode, too.
That's true.
We made a bet that whoever was in the, because they blurred out the face in the trailer of who got injured and had to go in the ambulance. Jack said it was either Connor or Tyler C, and I said it was Kevin. Who was right? Me. Ding ding.
I was gonna make a joke that that's why I shaved my head was because I lost the bet, but
Nah, you owe me boba.
I do.
That's in my bet bank.
Uh,
Anyways.
Well, yep. So Kevin gets hurt. He literally dislocates his shoulder playing this very aggressive game of rugby. And the thing too is there's actually a lot of big guys, very alpha dudes in this like cast, right?
Yeah.
You have Mike, you have
Luke P.
Luke P, you got I mean Kevin's big. You know,
Kevin's
a lot of
big.
these guys are very, very big, athletic looking dudes,
Yeah.
and it's a full contact sport. So Kevin gets hurt, and he's kind of
Dislocates
just
his
sent off.
shoulder.
And you know, everyone's kind of like, oh, you know,
Everyone's distracted.
Yeah.
And then
yeah. Anyways, to kind of to reveal what happened, which is the focal point of the show. It feels like the climax of the show, or this episode rather, is there's this shot, and unfortunately I can't really find it anywhere like as a clip by itself without like other commentary or anything like that. Basically, I'll try to explain it. The camera is focusing on Hannah watching the guys play the game, and it kind of gets on this weird angle where you see two guys in the background, and one just lifts him up and full on body slams him onto the ground,
knocks
like
him on his
straight
back.
up MMA, just boom
Sky.
on the
And
ground.
you just kind of see him walk over him.
Yeah, and like step over him, and
but that's like in the very corner.
It's a really quick and
very quick. They didn't cover it.
No,
unfortunately, because then there's a lot of.
Well, then it would have been like, is this staged? You know,
right.
like the way they shot it at least was like, oh, whoa, we caught that.
At least we caught
that. Yeah, at least we caught that. But so what happened was basically Luke P body slams Luke S. That is facts because you can see it.
Yes.
And then the drama emerges as the stories come out. Like,
and then the rest of the episode is focused on this conflict.
So again, like I said, all that we know for fact is you see, and you can tell like after you go back and look at it, that it's Luke P and Luke S. Luke P, the bigger one, of course, picks him up, drops him on the ground on his back, and walks right over him. Very disrespectful.
Battle of the Lukes.
Battle of the Lukes. So the rugby date and whatever event, whatever you want to call it, ends.
Yeah. You just see Luke S. upset.
Oh yeah, he's very upset.
Really upset. He's talking to his teammates.
And
Luke
then
P tries to apologize.
He does, but it doesn't go so well. It's kind of like a very hey man, sorry bro.
Yeah, hey, sorry bro. And then Luke is just like
and then we go into the group night. Or the group date night.
Yeah. Or like cocktail party at the end of the group date.
Yeah.
Scenario.
So right off the bat, Hannah pulls Luke P aside and kind of, says, "Hey, what's going on? What's up? Like, something's up." I think I have a video clip at least. So let's take a listen. As to his response and his side
to
the story.
Yes.
Yeah, today, I don't know if you noticed, but Luke S. and I had an encounter on the field. I had the ball, I stiffed arm him to the ground, but he started like cussing me out and like clenched his fists and started coming at me and started to swing at me, like to hit me in the face. And I didn't know what to do, and I like picked him up and I put him on his back. I'm doing my best after the last conversation we had about all of this.
Yeah.
I've been really trying hard.
My emotions with you are high, and it's because I do really care about you, and I want to feel confident in my feelings towards you. But then when I hear things like that, it just worries me a little bit.
I genuinely apologize because I don't want you to have to, especially with me, I don't want you to have to think twice about my character and who I am as a person and things like that.
Okay, what is stiff arm? What does that mean to stiff arm someone?
Okay. What you just tried to do is not a stiff arm.
Oh, that's not a stiff arm?
So stiff arm is when you're running with the ball, right?
Uh-huh.
Someone's trying to catch up to you and cut you off and tackle you. Well, because they're running at a weird angle usually, or at a different angle, you literally make your arm extremely stiff and push and like literally kind of like keep them back, because they're kind of, it only works if like they are in the midst of getting ready to tackle you, so they're kind of in this like forward momentum, like their balance is only going one way, their momentum is only going one way. So when you stiff arm, you can kind of like almost either shove the guy to the ground, or you can get him like completely off of you. Like you can change his direction if your arm is like strong enough.
Oh, okay. So he was saying that that's what he did, and then Luke S got mad at him, and then Luke P decided to throw him on the ground. But he said he put him on his back. It made it sound like he picked up like a ham or like a baby and just like gently set it
Did you
down.
say a ham?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know, like I gently just put him on his back.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, if you kind of when they show some of the rugby clips, yeah, there was a scene where it wasn't to Luke S, but Luke P does like kind of grab somebody by the shirt while he has the ball.
Oh yeah.
And he like throws. What'd you just do?
Sorry, I was demonstrating and I accidentally hit the mic.
Yeah, it's okay. He literally like stiff arms the guy to prevent him from getting closer, and then ends up actually just reverting his momentum in a different direction, just throws him.
It looked like he grabbed his like collar and just kind of threw him.
Well,
I don't know. Aggressive man,
very
nonetheless.
Here's the thing too. I mean, the more I watch this guy, the more I watch Luke P, there's something off.
Yeah.
There's something extremely off about him, and I can't really figure out what it is. It's the look in his eye, it's the way he talks, and the way that he watches the response from whoever he's talking to.
Yeah, it's like
it's
this weird like
no, it's like almost like dead. Like his like his eyes are just
dead.
Yeah. It's weird. It like freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah, he freaks me out as a person.
And like, I don't know. Anyways,
I don't know.
all I have to say is there's something really off, and it's like it's like starting to
Yeah.
really freak me out.
Yeah, I don't really get him.
I don't either.
But anyways, yeah.
So he tries to explain his side of the story. Hannah tries to take things with a grain of salt and kind of wait to see what the other side has to say. So she goes and pulls Luke S aside. And they have their conversation. There isn't really too much. He doesn't really get a chance to really like defend himself necessarily. He kind of just shares a different side of like the same story of there's like a altercation on the field, and then Luke just gets really angry and picks me up and body slams me, knocks the wind out of me, and ends up kneeing me in the face.
Yeah.
So that's like the new development, and it's really hard to see in the clip that we were mentioning what happens, because you do see him kind of like step over him, but you don't see him knee him in the face.
Yeah. I'm sure he didn't intentionally mean to, but I'm sure he like kicked him in the face. Like, I don't think he was just like, ugh! Like, I think he was like, gosh, and then, oops.
I mean, it is a pretty known thing of like it in like sports to like BM somebody, okay, like to like disrespect somebody.
Oh.
That like after you tackle somebody, there's been instances of players like
Spitting.
like with their metal cleats stepping on the leg of the guy that they just tackled, or like after they like tackle them kind of extra, like they're already on the ground, you give them that extra like like with your arm just straight up, and it's just like really disrespectful, dude, distasteful, bad sportsmanship.
Maybe that's what he did.
So that's what I'm thinking, like, but they make it look like it wasn't an effort to do it, but you can tell if you watch the replay like 7 times that like, yeah, he definitely stepped on the guy on purpose.
God.
Like, so
Yeah.
I don't know, you can't see it in the clip, but that's what Luke S has to say to defend himself.
Yeah. But
He also
Luke
does
P brought up that, but one guy you gotta look out for is Luke S, even though we just had that altercation. Oh, and Hannah asked, is this the only guy you have problems with? And
and he says yes.
yeah, and he said, yeah, yeah, I'm cool with all the guys except for Luke. In fact, he doesn't even talk about you when we're in the house. Did you know that? He only talks about his beer business or his alcohol business.
Yeah.
That's what you should know, Hannah. Okay, I'll leave you with that. Goodbye.
Yeah, so he already just kind of throws him under the bus a little bit, and so Hannah, has to pull Luke S aside, and they talk about the
incident,
and then she brings up like
the alcohol thing.
Yeah, and
And
also brings up, like he says that you two have some beef, and he's like, we all have beef, or I don't know how he says it exactly, but basically
says
literally
we
like
all don't like him.
Yeah,
it's not just me.
He literally says you can ask. He's like, I encourage you to ask all the other guys what they think about him.
Yeah.
And it starts to spiral from there, and the episode again continues to just follow this storyline. But what's nice is Hannah's going through after that conversation. They show clips of all the guys and like, oh yeah, Luke P, don't like him. Luke P, don't like him. Like, oh, that guy's crazy. Whatever. So they're all saying these things, and then we have two actual individuals that stray away from this topic. You have Garrett, who kind of like goes in and like basically doesn't want to talk about this whole thing. Kind of just talk about them. +1 for him.
Mm.
Also, you got Peter does the same thing. +1 for Pete. So I mean, it's really nice, but again, it's just a nice moment in this chaos, and Luke S is really upset, and he's just like, oh, now my character's in question, blah blah blah, and I don't even really have this business, and I'm just whatever, I'm here for her, blah blah blah.
Don't you ever question it.
Yeah, but to be fair, I don't think he's really a front runner.
That's the
So
thing.
it's
This
like
goes back to the thing of like, yes, he can say that I'm here for Hannah, I'm here for you, but if she's not feeling it, if there's no real connection, then might as well just send you home, even
He's
if you're
expendable.
in the right.
Yeah, I think by the end of the episode, it definitely feels like he kind of knows that he's expendable and he's most likely to go home. And I think his goal at that point, after accepting that fact, is really bring justice to the show.
Yes.
And get Luke out as well. Luke P.
Yep.
Out and get his just desserts as well. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, he's pissed though. I mean,
yeah. Well, because Hannah's kind of
on Luke P's side, most likely. I mean, she has said that they have the strongest relationship, one of the strongest relationships, and it's weird, but it is what it is.
Everyone's confused because this guy's insane.
Yeah.
But also, we're looking at it from an outside perspective.
Right.
We don't even know what goes on outside of the interviews and stuff. Like when the cameras aren't on them. Maybe he's actually a normal dude.
I don't think so.
For Hannah, in front of Hannah.
Okay.
Like more normal than even what because he doesn't seem normal at all, actually.
Let's just try to imagine a world where we don't see the behind the scenes of Luke P and we only see their interaction. So basically from Hannah's perspective, does he seem normal? No.
Well,
like if you had to put yourself in her shoes, and in the last episode he's like freaking out.
First time we ever saw him after the final rose ceremony, we already determined that we didn't like him.
Yeah, he literally,
and we said that dude's crazy.
He broke the personal bubble. He was being very weird. Too much eye contact.
And
like I said, his eyes, they were dead. They were dead. There was nothing in them. There was just, here's the thing. For me, I think as I'm trying to process all of this, I think I'm starting to build a
case around.
No, just a description of what I believe about Luke P. And that is, he knows a lot of generic relationship positive things. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And by that I mean like what to do, what to say.
Yeah.
And it's computing in his head, but the emotions aren't there, and that's why I think he's a robot.
And that's why he's dead in
And his eyes are dead.
Ooh, it's like he knows what he wants, but I don't think he knows why he wants it.
I don't think he feels what he wants.
Yeah.
He knows what
He
he
knows
wants,
what he wants,
but he doesn't
feel
feel
it.
what he wants.
Ooh.
And so
Scary.
all of these gears are turning in his head.
He's like, I want Hannah. I want Hannah.
But he can't feel it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think his eyes are dead, because there's no feeling. There's no emotion when he says anything.
Oof. Oof. And then even
He's a robot.
they brought up when he was telling people, yeah, I'm falling out of love with her. And yet Hannah's still not, like, seeing it.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just he's weird.
Yeah. He's just weird.
Anyways, so
Anywho.
that night ends. Next date picks up. This is the second one-on-one of the episode. Tyler C. Hannah is a mess when Tyler C. shows up.
Mm-hmm.
She's crying on the docks outside. She's just complete.
She says she doesn't even want to go on the date.
Yeah, she almost cancels this date too. And luckily Tyler is a really good sport about it all. He's just very comforting, and
there couldn't have been a better person for this date.
Really, I don't think so. He's very just chill, casual.
He took it and
comforting.
he rolled with it.
Yeah, and he's just...
He, like, accepted the situation right away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he totally did, and right off the bat, he was like, hey, something's wrong, what's up? Like, right off the bat, he could tell that she wasn't her normal self, and she wasn't feeling so good and so happy, and he just says things like, I want to be there, and all the not only just the ups but the downs, and he's just
he was
really
like, this is how it's gonna be in life.
Yeah,
instead of like him being sad about her being sad and not knowing what to do, it's almost as if he just knew what to do right away,
which was really nice to see.
Yeah.
But they go on their date. It's kind of whatever. It's just lobster fishing. It looks delicious, but it's like, I don't know. It's kind of...
Hannah cheers up.
She gets a little bit happier. Anyways, fast forward, date night. And Hannah kind of mentions a little bit about, like, oh, I didn't really know what to think about you at first. I kind of thought you were
a player.
A player, a pretty boy, kind of just,
Yeah.
And he starts to kind of open up a little bit and kind of like
unfold his story.
Yeah, so let's see. He gets the chance to kind of talk a little bit about what was going on in his life. I think let's see if we can get the clip for it.
Important question for you, honey. I think I'm really at a point where I'm really accepting of who I am and ready to give myself to somebody else. To be honest, I almost didn't come here. I almost stepped away. There was my pops almost died like 2 months before I came out here. I got really sick, and he was in the hospital for like 25 days. He was in a coma for like 10 days. It was tough. Like, I mean, I had to sign away his rights and sit him away for surgery.
You did?
Yeah, it was like the hardest thing I ever went through in my life. I really didn't even want to come. But then like, my pops kind of started to recover. Had a successful surgery. Every day I'm with him, just doing everything I can to make him better. And me and my dad would sit around and watch The Bachelorette, and he kind of like became a huge fan of you. And he was like, Tyler, this is your girl. You got to go make the most of this opportunity. And so I went for it, and still feeling like, I don't know if this is for me. And then, I get to the limo, and I see you. I got this feeling that I've never had for someone.
You went,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I had this feeling for someone that I've never felt for someone before, you know what I mean? And that confirmed a lot for me right then and there. I was like, I'm not here for the Bachelorette, I'm here for Hannah,
I just want you to know that, like, I appreciate you sharing that. It just makes sense hearing how you were with your dad, and then, like...
Well, so yeah, I mean... This conversation is very interesting to me, okay? Just because of that last bit. As he is talking about her and describing the feelings that he's having towards her and the gesture, you know, he has this just, it's like, it's literally just like almost it's I don't want to say instinctual or habitual, but like this just random just gesture of what he was feeling and showing that. And then she says, you know, you did that. Like the fact that she takes that mental note and tells him is a really big step for both of them because, you know, those little things that you notice about somebody or that you see
or that you remember from your first interaction.
Right, exactly.
She met 30 dudes on that night.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember each and every interaction, but she remembers that he specifically touched his heart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no. So I think that's really huge. That speaks a lot to kind of his standing, at least in the show. Again, also, you know, I did kind of feel what she was saying beforehand, kind of before all of this. I wasn't really sure about him. He was definitely like pretty boy, like maybe just here to have some fun. But no, I mean, from the start of this date, from the start of him just noticing all the signs right away that she wasn't feeling so good, to comforting her, to making her laugh, and then telling her about all of, you know, his backstory. I mean, he's now up there for me. Like he is definitely up there.
Yes.
And
if he's not a front runner in anyone's books, then you're blind.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, just this whole little interaction right there at the very end really kind of just shows that she cares, and obviously, you know, we all know that it seems like he cares too. So that's really, really big for, I think, them going forward. And of course, yeah, he gets a rose.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
as he should.
Yep.
But that kind of ends the night. That, you know, they kind of go and do the little dance thing with with whatever artist that they pull in.
Yeah. We didn't.
But
yeah.
Anyway, so that's kind of his date. It was a little bit, you know, not necessarily eventful, but really telling and really what's the word? Yeah, it kind of just really shows his true colors and kind of more about him. And yeah, I like Tyler. I do. So after this, they have their nighttime. So at this point, okay, so we have Jed, we have Tyler C. They have roses. And so now we're going into the nighttime cocktail party. And starts off nice, actually. Starts off well. Peter pulls Hannah aside, and Peter asks Hannah to be his girlfriend.
Yeah! Woo!
So this is, I think, the first official girlfriend ask out thing that's going on for this season, and it's Peter.
Yeah, because it's a weird experience, and I think, yeah, Peter had a good point. He doesn't want to just go from nothing to married.
Right.
He wanted to take the steps and the milestones to get there. Even though it's rushed, he still wants to have those milestones.
Sure.
So it was a cute moment.
It was. And it's interesting because, like, it's nice that Peter kind of, like, asked, right? And didn't just assume. Because there's a lot of, in the episodes prior, I feel like there were a couple instances where people were like, oh, that's my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend. Blah, 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 blah. But, like, Peter, you know, had the courtesy to, like, actually ask, and it was nice. It was really sweet. It was really cool.
Huge to ask you. Will you be my girlfriend? And I will preface it by saying you are allowed to date 14 other guys.
Right, and that's okay. So, yeah, you know, Hannah and Peter always just seem to be very laughing and smiley.
Yeah,
and,
they seem happy.
Yeah,
together.
they just seem very giddy together. So it's really nice to see. And that really does show things as well. I mean, the only thing I think is that, you know, it's just all happy. It's always happy. You kind of, you know, I don't want to see it necessarily, but I want to see a little bit of conflict or confrontation to try to resolve and, like, see how, because the thing, like, kind of like the thing with Jed, where it's like, a really tough situation
Oh,
and how
yeah.
you handle it
Mhm.
after, because I think that that's a really important thing.
True.
Relationship isn't all just fun and laughs.
Yeah, and then even with Tyler C, she confronted him a little bit.
She confronted him a little bit,
Asked
and
his
even
intentions too because of the Jed thing.
probably, but
No,
also,
she did.
Oh, okay.
She said, "Why did you come onto the show?" You know, after hearing what Jed had to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then that's when he revealed like his
Right.
story.
But also too, like, again, it's not all fun and games, and sometimes people are going to be sad and things like that. And so to see his kind of interaction with her and how he handles it, like you said, he's not just going to mope around and be sad that she's sad and not,
Oh yeah.
So with Peter, from what I can remember, I don't know if there has been any, like,
No.
So I want to see something like that. I don't want to see him have conflict necessarily, like in a bad way, but I'm saying, like,
We
I want
want
to
to
see how
their
they,
relationship build, basically.
yeah, really fill out the gaps,
Yeah.
and really make it a full and rich relationship. So I'm interested about that for sure. So like I said, the night starts off very nice, and then
And then
on the most dramatic season of The Bachelorette, should really just be called the Luke season, really, at this point. I mean,
it's not Hannah's season. It's Luke's
resurfaces.
season.
The drama resurfaces between the Lukes. Mike starts defending Luke S, kind of saying like, "Hey man, you were very aggressive towards my partner, like in the game, and things like that." And the whole room starts to kind of back Luke S as well.
Yeah.
Saying like, "Yo, dude, you need to chill," and blah blah blah, and like, and Luke P just goes on the defensive. I mean, it's literally like what, 10-on-1 at this point. I don't even know how many guys are in the room, but
Yeah.
it's like 10 guys on one pretty much, and he's just on the defensive. And Luke S asks Luke P, he goes like something along the lines of like, "Hey man, I think you should just tell the truth and clear the air about what really happened with Hannah." And he
Tell
goes,
the truth.
Tell the truth, pretty much. Literally just tell the truth.
Tell her the truth. Oh yeah, because they had like a little confrontation. Was like, why would you say that
I'm
not here for the right reasons? That's not true, and it's not true. And he's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, he basically says, yeah, I know, it's not true. But I think he just wanted to. I think he himself believed that it was true, but I think in front of the other guys and him, he just didn't want to admit what he believed, And then, yeah, Lucas said, "Go in there and tell the truth about me, man. Tell the truth. Tell her that I am here for the right reasons." And now this is where Lucas made the fatal mistake.
Made a huge
Because
mistake.
Luke P said, "Okay, man,
I'll do that.
I'll do it. I'll tell
I'll do that
her
for you." So Luke P then ends up going in to talk with Hannah and completely twists up Luke S's words.
Goes like this: "Hey, Hannah, how's it going?"
"Hi, Luke."
"Oh, Luke S? That guy? Yeah. He told me to tell you that he's a good guy. He told me to talk him up for you. Or talk
Yeah, talk him up.
him up
Yeah.
to you."
That's literally what I even wrote in my notes. Talk him up. Make him sound good.
Oh, yeah. He wanted me to make him sound good to you. That's all you need to know. Goodbye.
So, Hannah's pissed at this point.
Grrr, the beast.
Yep.
So she goes to Luke S, says, "Come here, come talk to me." And she says, "So, you told Luke P to put in a good word for ya?" And Luke
Starts to just, he realizes, you can see it in his
Yeah.
face. He literally breaks down
'cause
internally and knows
it's
that
over.
he lost.
He lost. He lost
He
the
literally
battle.
just got checkmate.
Yeah.
know?
It's like, what do you... How
And
do you
he
save
even-
it? Because it's like, deep down inside, the truth.
Yeah.
And like, what happened and everything. And to even keep fighting about it, it's
It
like,
becomes very,
there's no point.
yeah.
At that point, like, that
Yeah.
he's won. So then he goes back to the guys, Lucas, and he's like, "All right, you guys, just know that this guy right here, Luke P, You better watch out for him.
Okay.
That's
Interesting.
basically what.
Interesting impression, but basically what he's saying is like, listen, watch out for this guy because, you know.
Can't believe I got
he will-
outsmarted by
Yeah,
him.
he will just completely backstab you and outsmart you, and be careful because
This guy's good.
I think
He said,
yeah, pretty much. I
"This
think
guy's
he's like
good."
he's letting on, he's better than he's letting on to believe, pretty
Mhm.
much. And so,
He's smart.
yeah, he just got completely outplayed by Luke P, pretty
Mhm.
much, and kind of sucks, but
Yeah.
he knows it's over.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, it sucks because I'm sure he does have some feelings towards Hannah, but at the end of the day,
Luke P's connection with Hannah is stronger than Luke S's connection.
don't think Luke S is a front runner. And I think he knows that his time is coming.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, it's his last mission, though, at least just try to bring him down. Yeah, bring justice to this world. Yeah, Hannah's pissed. Luke's pissed. Luke S is pissed, rather. And Hannah sits them both down. And it's to be continued. So what an episode it was. I mean, that was crazy. I want to kind of showcase the trailer for next week.
Yeah.
Real quick.
If I was Luke P, I would be very nervous.
We want to make sure that she chooses the right guy.
The woman of my dreams is slipping out of my fingers, and I'm at the breaking point.
Whoa. No.
The beast is going to come out.
There's
Here's
the
the
kills.
kills.
I'm
Peter,
about to fight for Hannah
Mike.
right now.
I need to show my queen that I could be her king.
I'm coming here to win Hannah's heart, and I don't like to lose.
This is about me caring about Hannah, not letting some little snake slide his way into her heart and her mind.
It's all coming up next week on The Bachelorette.
Okay, so
Thoughts.
they wanted to make it seem like Luke P is going home for sure, but he's definitely not. Luke S is definitely going to go home.
Why do you think Luke P is not? What is your...
He has to stick around. And plus, Hannah said that this season mostly revolves around her relationship with Luke P. And we're only, what, 4 episodes in?
4 weeks in, yeah.
If the whole season revolves around that, he can't go home now.
True.
And
I mean, the only thing I can think of is there is actually one scene where Luke is yelling at Garrett, and we haven't seen that yet.
oh, yeah.
So I think he does have to stay.
Yeah. And he's probably going to be the person who ends up screaming at Hannah. Or not screaming at Hannah. Hannah ends up screaming at the end of the
You
season.
don't control me, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
And Luke P's connection is stronger.
it's very
strong.
it's very
She said is the strongest out of the group.
yeah. I don't know really what to think.
Yeah.
I think that this is going to just end with everybody disappointed that she's gonna keep Luke P. They're gonna go on some other dates, blah blah blah. But
I think he's
just...
gonna get the one-on-one next week.
No, I don't think so.
Want to try your luck again?
No,
No?
I don't think so though. I have a feeling that the one-on-one won't come until.
You don't think there's going to be a one-on-one?
No, the one-on-one won't come until that scene happens. It's gonna be in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh,
And he'll get
because
it.
It is on a one-on-one?
I think so. It does feel like it was in one. I
Unless
don't know.
he makes
I
it
feel like,
so far.
I think he's
that-
going to make it very far, unfortunately. I feel like next week's one-on-one has to be somebody really random, like John Paul Jones.
I forgot about
I would like to see
him.
a John Paul Jones.
Oh, no. I think we're losing John Paul Jones at the next rose ceremony.
This week, this next episode,
Yeah.
rather. Yeah.
Because, well, we didn't have a rose ceremony, but I think John Paul Jones is going home. I think Luke S is going home. And,
I think one more.
okay, Kevin.
I don't think Kevin. I think it's gonna be like.
Broke his arm.
Oh, and it can't be that one guy that. I don't even know his name.
Grant.
No.
Unemployed Grant.
Wait, where's he been? Oh, he was at the date. He was just kind of chilling in the back.
Yeah.
I think he's still in.
No.
What was that guy?
No, I don't think so. Dylan?
Yeah. But he was in a preview later on too.
Yeah.
So
He'll make
it's
it
gonna
far.
be John Paul Jones. It's gonna be
Grant.
No, I don't think Grant. I think Grant's fine. I think Grant is still in.
Kevin.
I don't think Kevin.
Okay, then it has to be one of them.
No, we're missing somebody.
John Paul Jones.
I feel like
Luke
we're missing
S.
somebody.
Has that Dustin guy gone home yet?
No, I think him.
Okay.
I don't understand. I don't know anything about that guy.
He
Doesn't he
got-
have like the? Oh, sorry. He has like the nose ring or like the earring or something like that.
No. I don't know. I just know that he got one of the group date roses though.
What?
Yeah, because he got hurt during roller derby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. But like other than that, I don't know anything about him. See, I didn't even remember that he was part of that. I didn't even know that he got hurt.
Yeah.
I forgot somebody got hurt in roller derby.
Well, actually, Connor J got hurt too.
Oh,
That was the person they focused on. We didn't really focus on Dustin getting hurt.
Right.
I'm getting a little too analytical.
Okay. Okay, that's our cue to end.
But who do you think? Who is at your top now? Top 3.
Tyler C, Peter. That's it.
Tyler C and Peter.
Like, I still like Jed, but I just don't think that he's gonna end up winning because he's just a little too nervous. Like, the connection's nice, it's very chill, but like I think Hannah wants more.
Okay, so just like Idol, we have a solid top 2.
It's gonna be
3
Peter,
and 4
Tyler
keep
C.
changing.
Actually, I'll even throw up in there as a very like big gap between second and third. Garrett.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Garrett and like Connor.
But even then, like Connor's just
Connor's-
too.
Yeah.
Like it goes like 1, 2 close, big gap,
Yeah.
bigger gap,
Yeah.
and then everybody else.
Yeah.
Right now, at least.
Yeah. Or if she doesn't end up, yeah, I don't know. I, for some reason, feel like she won't end up with anybody.
I think so too.
Yeah. Just the way that she's been talking in interviews and things.
Yeah.
Like, why would you say I had the strongest connection with Luke P out of anybody?
Right, and not
If
really
you're-
kind of like try to bring it. I mean, maybe it's just for spoiler's sake that she's trying not to bring things up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You watch a lot of Colton interviews.
Yeah, and Colton,
he's
like,
just very.
he's beaming. He, like, looks like he's got a little secret.
Yeah, he's got a secret.
Like,
That's the one. That's what I wanted to say.
and
He's smiling with
Hannah-
a
yeah.
secret. Like he's a little kid with a secret.
And we know Hannah shows her emotions on her face.
A lot.
So,
And
I don't
she's
know.
just very.
She doesn't seem, like, excited.
Yeah.
I mean, she might just be annoyed that everyone's constantly asking her, like, oh,
Yeah,
are
that's
you
true,
you
too.
engaged? Blah,
That's
blah,
true.
blah,
I mean,
blah,
it is
blah.
annoying, but it also I feel like it comes with the job.
Yeah.
It comes with. I feel like that's like a PR class in itself.
Yeah.
You're going to be bombarded with these questions, so
They're always like, are you happy?
yeah.
And she's like, yes, I'm happy.
Thank you. Anyways, what else? That's this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been a little bit busy though. Been a little bit busy in our lives.
Yeah,
I feel like-
sorry. I've been a little
Yeah.
inactive on the Instagram, but
No, it's okay. I mean, yeah, I whether or not we do it at the beginning or the end, I kind of want to talk about a little bit of at least what's going on with us, just because that way it kind of helps, you know. But yeah, we've been really busy. I mean, this week for me has been extremely busy in the front half with work. Very stressful, but so I didn't really have time to think about what we were gonna discuss and things like that. And you've been busy traveling back and forth a lot, and
Yeah.
either getting home really late or whatever.
hmm
But yeah. So
right after this,
you're on the road again.
Yep, going to San Jose, Santa Cruz to mission rescue Jared from school.
Yeah, which means we may get some future episodes with the brother
I
again.
feel like during the summer,
we might get
or
a few
just
episodes.
all of them is just gonna have Jared in it.
I mean, if
He'll
he's
be
down,
our summer guest.
yeah. But yeah, so those are some things to look forward to. At least, you know, maybe we'll get a third guest But yeah, just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on, just because. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been able to post on the Twitter either too much.
Yeah.
So our
Sorry.
social, we need to work on. We also have some thumbnails to work on.
I have a road trip.
I know.
So
Hopefully you can get some working.
yeah.
And yeah, we're still, don't worry, we still have the live listening session episode that we want to do. We just legit haven't had the time. It's on our radar though. So definitely stay tuned for that.
I have an idea for talking points after Bachelorette.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
I have an idea for what we can talk about after Bachelorette.
Oh, series-wise?
Our next installment.
Is this something you're trying to leak now or
Leak.
like release or like leak now, or is this an after the show?
No. Like, I can ask them if they want.
Oh yeah.
Just anime.
I knew you were gonna say it. That's what's crazy. The other thing too is like when we're not busy and we're eating or we're just chilling, she's been literally trying to find, and to my surprise, just a bunch of anime to watch. I mean, I used to watch some, and I've recently started getting back into it. But we finished like 4 different series that are like the one season type shows. Yeah, like in a week. You guys are crazy.
Yep.
I mean, whatever floats your boat. But if you guys are interested, let us know. We can cover different shows, our thoughts, kind of the stories, what we liked, what we don't like. Talk about art styles, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're curious or if you are interested, let us know in the comments below if you want us to cover anime. Be something that we'll be doing. I'm going to Anime Expo this year, so that's gonna be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But cool. That's what's
Fun.
going on in our lives. Hopefully everything is good with you guys. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for commenting. We do love reading the comments, and I'm usually responding to them. Be sure to follow us on socials. Fire Rice Podcast on Twitter. Fire and Rice Podcast on Instagram. We'll be trying to be a little more active. Like we said, this week's been a little busy for us. If you like the video, please hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And thanks again for watching. Fire and Rice, we out.
Deuces.
Deuces.